Welcome into the Ensley Athletics Center here for this special Citrus TV Lacrosse report. We are your Citrus TV men's lacrosse beat reporter team, Cameron Macaulay, Nick Kuzma, and Noah Cierzan, here to break down the second of Syracuse's two scrimmages against Vermont. The Orange led the first quarter 7-3, the second quarter 3-2, but fell in the third quarter 5-1, though backups mostly played. So when you look at what we saw from this first game, Tucker Dordevic coming back from injury, he had 4 points, led Syracuse, 3 goals and an assist. What did you make of his performance?
Well, I think he was pretty darn good. He might not want to say it himself. In fact, after the game, he said, there's a lot of stuff I need to clean up, a lot of stuff I just need to get better at. But for everyone else that was in attendance watching the scrimmage, I thought he played great.
Yeah, for me, it looks like he did not miss a beat. He looked fantastic today. Arguably the best player out there for Syracuse. He was all over the field, great on offense, like you said, but he also made some key defensive plays coming back on defense. So Tucker looked great, and I think he'll play a big part on the Syracuse team this season.
You could really tell he hadn't missed a beat in terms of coming into the offense, talked about that, but he looked excellent today, certainly one of the top performers for Syracuse. In terms of the other spots on the attack, we know who 5 of them are, but the 6th was up for grabs. Not anymore, as Coach Desko today confirmed. Griffin Cook will start as the 6th attacker. He had a pair of goals against Vermont, had a hat trick against Hofstra. What did you see from him?
He just has a certain swag and comfort back there. Mostly behind the net. He seemed comfortable. He seemed like he was exuding confidence. And talking about after the scrimmage, he's like, that's my spot, and there's a certain amount of responsibility that comes with it, and he's owning it and played well.
Well, yeah, and after the game, he kind of talked about the fact that he wasn't super comfortable last year, playing a little bit out of position from what he was used to in high school, but he's back behind the net, and he just looks great. Like, he's very quick, and he tricks the goalies on his second goal. He wrapped it around the net, and it was just a spectacular goal. So I think Griffin Cook looked spectacular in this one, and like you said, Cam, it looks like he's going to take over that 6th spot for the Orange.
Here's what Coach Desko had to say about his 6th attackman.
He's starting to look like the lacrosse player that I saw in high school. I think last year, with some seniors around him and some upperclassmen, he looked like he didn't want to step on anybody's toes. This year, he's starting to make things happen, and like you said, he's got some good goals today. He dodged and shot off the ball. So it's good to see him turn the corner.
I like it. I was kind of a little bit out of position last year playing above the net, so it's good to finally get back behind to where I feel a little bit more comfortable and can make a couple more plays happen.
As Coach Desko said, Griffin Cook, the 6th attackman now for Syracuse. And when you look at the big takeaways from this game, my big thing has to be Griffin Cook. He looked excellent today, playing behind the net, as you said, Noah. Looked super comfortable. And you talk about Pat March at Princeton. He had Michael Sowers, one of the best attackmen in the country, playing behind net. Now, Griffin Cook might not be at that level, but you could tell that it almost felt like March had kind of picked out Cook to be that guy. He was the smallest guy on the field, but he was getting around people, making the right plays. Really looked good, and I think he's poised for a big breakout season.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is SU's dominance in the face-off circle. Both Jacob Fopp and Danny Varello, when they were in there today, guys, SU was basically perfect in that area. Desko said that he almost has like strength and finesse. He thinks Varello has probably the best hands in terms of quickness. And then when you bring Fopp in, he's just a bundle of energy out there. When he's in the face-off circle, everyone is excited. You can hear, let's go Fopp, let's go Fopp, let's go Fopp. It's just something that is so important when you're trying to get a good offensive attack going.
Yeah, and my one big thing for this game, I'm going to go over to the defense and the fact that the Orange may actually have some depth. Now, Nick Mellon's the only one who has a ton of experience, but we saw 5 guys rotate. You saw Brett Kennedy, you saw Grant Murphy, you saw Andrew Helmer, and you also saw Nick Diapietro. They all spent some time back there, and they all had their moments. They all looked good. And after the game, I talked to all the defensemen, and they said they actually like having that depth that gets them going in practice. So I think what looks like a perceived weakness for the Orange could actually turn into a strength.
There you go. Syracuse first game of the season is against Colgate in the Dome on February 7th. For Nick Kuzma and Noah Cierzan, I'm Cameron Macaulay. We'll catch you all throughout the season.